Welcome to part 5 of PABCAB, the tutorial series where we briskly collect all badges of Phoenotopia Awakening. Last time I got a boatload of Rin while farming for the quick hits and hard hits badges. And I also finally freed Lisa and got the lifesaver in the process. So while I'm in the Peninsula region, I'm going to backtrack through Doki Forest. I want to leave the place with two berry fruits in hand. Gotta free up some inventory space here. And that's for the same Heart Ruby side quest that requires the one other thing that I'm gonna cook successfully. I'm also going to be collecting 3 Doki herbs for the same Heart Ruby side quest that requires the stink root. But that's later on. For now, this screen contains a moonstone to be obtained from this box. There's a big tree over there that you can climb if you don't have the rocket boots or the sonic spear or anything like that. But since I do, I don't really care about that. So this is just simple movement, akin to the beginning of the game. Not much to talk about here. The top of this temple has a moonstone atop it. When it comes to that slope, slope jumping is faster than climbing up with the sonic spear. Anyway, that's the moonstone in question. Now you can fall down here to get to the room where the original Slargummy was. And from there I'm gonna go through the rest of the temple and scoop up the pearl stones that I didn't bother with in the Zero Trial run. Starting with this one. Sonic Spear. The Sonic Spear and Rocket Boots make that really simple. We'll also be getting some collectibles along the way. Starting with this moonstone here. If I can hit the pot. Next order of business. I'm descending here to the crypt. There's a pearl stone here. For the fast strat here, you want to make sure that the bats don't break that breakable pot that just landed on the pressure plate. The intended solution is to take the unbreakable pots and then use a bomb to weigh down the pressure plate on the bottom floor. For another pearl stone. And in this breakable tomb is a moonstone, as there was in the demo. This Slargummy Jr. is holding another pearl stone. The Kobold Blaster 5-way makes short work of it. I don't know why I did that. That Sonic Spear maneuver, I mean. That's all that's in the crypt. Now I'm going to continue the counterclockwise circuit through this area. That energy jump can go faster if the bat is able to push the bomb off the pressure plate, but this time that was not the case. I don't need to take that shortcut there because I already got the Pearl Stone that uses it. Speaking of Pearl Stones, another one lies around here. Wait. Hang on. I just kind of forgot how to platform for a second there. So 2 of the 3 Doki herbs to be obtained are in here. I think I mentioned this before, but losing energy when trying to pass through a tunnel is so slow. I'm gonna go ahead and open this door, because the door opening animation is painstakingly long, and I will be going back there eventually. Uh-oh, camera lock. Can I, like, not have that? Just Unity things. This room contains a moonstone. Gonna be showing off a fast strat for it. Or possibly a swag strat. Gonna climb up into the maze, as I'm not intended to. Throw the spear about in this corner. Lay a bomb about here, and then boost my way up to this tunnel, where I can scoop up the moonstone without having to complete this puzzle. Otherwise, it's just a matter of waiting for scaber cycles. It does take a lot of damage, but I'd say it's worthwhile in this sort of speedrun scenario. So the room I unlocked earlier is for this heart ruby. It's very easy when you have the sonic spear, otherwise it's still easy enough, you just hit every switch but number 2 and 3. No, 2 and 4. It is again like the demo. Hang on. Ah, they got in the way. I do not want that toad leg. It's a waste of space. I could have just fired off the 5-way. I need to free up another inventory space. Say goodbye to these cannolis. That's another lunar artifact right there. I think it's number 2 in this route. So that's the counterclockwise circuit taken care of. Now to go beyond the place where I got the golem head. I probably shouldn't have used so much energy. I'm casting the line hereabouts because there's a glowing fish down here. And it's holding a moonstone. I did not mean to fall. So there's a hidden pearl stone slot right there. There's one here and here as well. Those are the final statues, at least. But I haven't obtained the final Pearl Stone just yet. That would be hereabouts. Normally requires a tedious slingshot puzzle, but it's easy enough to bypass with the Sonic Spear. Well, not so much tedious as stupidly precise. It is in the demo version. I'm talking about the very first demo of this game. Just get these guys out of the way. And then do a deep dive. Not like that. For this lunar frog, I need to free up more space. Doggone it. Well, I guess I'll say goodbye to one of these Nutrimeal packs. Moving on. One last thing to collect in this area. Besides the last Doki herb, of course. That boss there, I'm going to demonstrate him in an extra, but for now I'm just going to simply bypass him. Well, not just a extra, but the extra. Anyway, that strange urn there is required for a Heart Ruby side quest later on. Bypassing that boss is really simple with the rocket boots. I mean, easy. Well, what does it matter? It gets the point across. Anyway, I'm done with the temple, so time to backtrack out. Yeah, so when I say the extra part, I mean like I intend to cover everything that is not encompassed in the all badges route. Well, just about everything. Like the remaining collectibles as well as a few secrets. But that'll happen when it happens. For now, I still have to finish up in this area. Nice. Down here is where I'm getting the last Doki herb, because it's nice and quick to obtain. Do I have 2 berry fruits? Yes, I do. I kind of forgot to make sure of that. So after Doki Forest, I'm gonna go back through Sunflower Road. And I need to free up 2 more inventory spaces. Let's see. I think I'll consume this honey. And discard another pack of Nutrimeals. So I'll be scooping up 10 more Nectiers to spoil for the Planto side quest. This is the penultimate batch of 10. Being cautious here. As I do. And speaking of Mr. Planto, one of his locations is right over here. So every time you give him the spoiled food, he repays you for the time being. And if you satisfy him every time, then... Do I have all the next years? Yes, I do. And if you finish up with that, then he'll give you an energy gem. Finishing up as in doing every part of that side quest. So now I'm going to take the shortcut back to the Pansalo area. That way I can take the Franway back to Daea. And while I'm here, I don't know why I took this route, because Fran's on the roof. I'm gonna unlock the remaining Franways. Got another tailoring voucher, which is nice. Now, if I had any extra inventory space, I would obtain the cooked drake tail from Van. But I'm gonna save that until the next time I take a Franway. For now, I'm gonna revisit the tailoring shop and obtain the remaining inventory slots. It's most economical to not use the tailoring voucher until the pocket prices become 200. And that makes all 24 pockets worth 2,000 Rin total. Excuse me. So I gotta keep a mental count of the pockets that I have. That's the third out of 4 that cost 150. And this is the fourth. So now time to use those tailoring vouchers for what they're for. So now the pockets cost 200. And I have to pay full price for the remaining 2 since there are only 2 tailoring vouchers in the game. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. 24 inventory slots. And that's not all I'm gonna do here. I mentioned not getting the deluxe suite way earlier in this tutorial series. Oh, excuse me. Because I know of a way to cheese this heart ruby right here. You just throw the sonic spear all the way up and then place 2 bombs, do a leaping hover, like that. Plain and simple. And you even have a secondary crate, so it's not like you have to do it in one go. Next order of business. Gotta get some chocolates. 1 for the trade sequence and 2 for the for a heart ruby later on. And then right. Last thing I'm doing in this trip to Daea. donating to this fountain for the energy gem. And now I'm off to visit Thomas's laboratory and do everything to be done in that area. Oh gosh. Scary encounters. I don't need to save here because now that I have the lifesaver, getting dunked is not an issue. Ever since I freed Thomas from here, the peacekeepers have invaded this area, hence that cutscene. There's a cat there to pet. An energy gem here. Now, if you read the computer, it talks about, like, making binary numbers out of musical notes, where down is 0 and up is 1. And then the note says, like, 07... hang on, what was it again? 07731, I think? Anyway, I just had to pause a moment to explain that. Oh. Oh no. That's not how I do it. This is how I do it. So I'm going through trials 1-4 and 2-4 to obtain the remaining golem medallions to be given to Arch in exchange for moonstones. Now I'm going to do a little setup here. Kind of like that. That dash was a bad idea. And that'll make this fight easier. Oof. Touche. Still, despite a little flub, it was not bad. Now I believe I go this way. My muscle memory told me to go right, but I just remembered that this little scene here goes first. Now that these two are freed, Florette drops me a heart ruby. I freed her by giving her son some chocolate. Might as well grab the calorie slush in here while I'm on this wing of the laboratory. So now this room contains a punching bag. You have to hit it with... crap. 10 mid-air attacks in a row. I kind of screwed up there. Because I wasn't being prudent enough. It's kind of hard when the punching bag sways every which way. So there's that. There's no exact way to cheese it. It just is what it is. This room just has a journal with the bonus pumpkin muffin. Now again, since I have the lifesaver, I'm taking the chute out. And also because it's quicker that way. Now it's time to turn in the medallions. Nice entry. Now onward to Moonlight Ravine. I'm actually gonna collect everything here. Starting with a very antisocial little fish over here. It's glowing because it contains a moonstone. You can see Bo there. Gonna do his free running next. Simple stuff, not much to talk about. That was interesting. Hang on. Oh well, I can waste a little time. It's no big deal. Not a very solid time to show off, but whatever. Not bad by any means. That dash, though, oof. There's an energy gem to be obtained here, and the frogs could sabotage you by hitting you before you deep dive, and then you have to climb back up, and it kind of sucks. On another note, this is awkward. First I'm going to blow up that rubble. And then I have to leave here with a single raw knife krill for a moonstone side quest later on. How many times have I said later on in this series? But now I'm going to navigate up here. And then deep dive for this lunar trident. I could technically climb up, but with all the enemies going after me, I'd rather not do it that way. Now, I want to get this guy out of the way, because I'm going for an awfully precise Cobalt Blaster shot, which I miraculously got just then, for a really well hidden moonstone. Well, it's not exactly hidden, it's just hard to get to. I'm going up here for another moonstone. That's awkward. Hang on. I could salvage that, though. As long as the moonstone itself doesn't fall in the water. Anyways, this is the reason why I got 3 chocolate. And also, as a result of that, where I turn in the pearl ring. For the next item of the trade sequence, that being the Moonlight perfume. That was a better idea. Another lunar artifact in there. Without the Cobalt Blaster, that would require some well-timed bomb throws. I also want to leave here with a Loon Fruit for the same Heart Ruby side quest that requires the berry fruits and the cooking and stuff. Last thing to obtain here, for now, the moonstone in this pot. Firefish are kind of annoying, not gonna lie. I think in rehearsal I would normally obtain the lunar fruit that I just passed. Or one of them on this screen. Did I say lunar fruit? They're loon fruits. like the French word for moon. So that covers it in this area for now. Now I'm going to hit up the Atai Franway. First of all, there's a fish here. Second of all, the traveling melodies are here. More on them later. Oh gosh. Okay. So on the fly, I learned that glowing fish do not get deterred by pressing X to shake the bait. Anyways. So this is the first place where they ask for donations, and that's part of the Heart Ruby side quests associated with them. And as it happens, number 2 is over here. I mean, they accept donations for different reasons in those locations. But those are actually the only 2. Now I'm actually going to use the Franway for what it's for. And now that I have more inventory space, I'm going to talk to Van twice for a cooked drake tail. And I have to cook another. That's the other thing I intend to cook. Hang on, I'm trying to find my bearings here. Oh yeah. Gotta visit this geo dungeon. Do I have the spoiled food for it? I think... Hang on, is there a fire over here? If not, I'm gonna have to... Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop by and find somewhere to cook. Hang on. Kinda forgot this part of the route. Okay, so hereabouts. Time to spoil some more neck tears. And hydrate in the process. And also clear my throat. There, now I'm ready. To do what I was doing before. Visit this geo dungeon area. I'm not actually going to go through the geo dungeon, because I have all the geo tickets I need. I just wanted to help Mr. Planto there. What next? Back to Daea City. Again. This is easily the most visited location in the route, and for obvious reasons. First off, number 3 out of 5 of Bo's free running. You can see 2 of the traveling melodies, Harmony and Forte. I'm going to be talking to them next, I think. Well, I'm going to do it anyway. That's the next part of the side quest. Cobette left, and Alto is moping because he loved her. What next? Oh, okay, I guess that wasn't the right order. I was supposed to hit up this area, and then... Well, while I'm here, I might as well talk to this guy. He's the one I need to give the raw knife krill. Now he's asking for a desert squash. He kind of talks in riddles, and unlike with other side quests, you have to show him the show him whatever items you equip. So now I'm going to learn the concentrate technique, and that's in preparation for the moonstone that Taraka has to give. And it also helps in conjunction with the spear bomb technique that I'll learn later. So in one of his 2 dialogue boxes, he asks for a disciple. Since I completed Bo's free running, he's right here. And so I refer him to the dojo, go back. Go back. That's the wrong way. And bam, moonstone. Okay, what next? That's all for the current visit, but I will be going back here again shortly. Like, real shortly. Let me just go ahead and eat this moonlight kelp. I didn't actually mean to collect it. It just kind of happened while I was getting the underwater moonstone. But anyway. So you talk to Alto while he's moping, and so you can donate to this fountain. Notice that Melody is hooching off the donations. Because I gave her 100 Rin and sent her on her way. All that stuff. And now Gale proposes that Melody dance for the traveling melodies. And so if you head back to where Harmony and Forte were, you'll find that they've reunited, and then if you talk to Alto, you get the Heart Ruby. Also, if you talk to Harmony or Forte, they'll give a recurring 35 Rin. I don't want to go that way, I want to go this way. I think. I don't exactly know until I look over my notes is the thing. Look over my notes. If I didn't enunciate that enough. So that's the Traveling Melodies side quest completed. Now I'm going to be collecting everything in the White Towers. Starting with this Heart Ruby, which technically is not part of the White Towers. But it's close enough. Hang on, let me make sure that's a good height. Because I'm going to place that glowing orb there, and if it's not high enough then it won't break when it falls. The other orb I'm going to wedge in there and then headbutt it to put it far enough for this bomb to reach. Darn. It turns out the other orb was not high enough. This sort of height should do. I think unlike in the Flash game, it is possible to get extra hovering height even if you're holding an object over your head. There, that's better. So that's the quickest way of doing it. The first way I figured out how to do it was really cheesy. I just like did this sort of thing to abuse Gale's glitched state where she can walk into roll passages as if she were crawling. I think with that demonstration, I needn't to go any further with it. And it really wasn't until I started rehearsing this route that I figured out the quicker way. Remote bombs also work, but I don't have those or need those quite yet. Anyway, exploring the White Towers proper. Again with that little bypass. Now, there's an energy gem over here, and that's the quickest way of getting it. But now I'm locked into not being able to equip anything else. So that's how costly it is to forget the quick equipping step. Now normally, you use that box, or that crate in the upper right to get over this slope, along with the colored orb from down here. But that's a tedious process compared to slope jumping. Obviously. Pretty simple stuff. I buried a bomb into the ground. That was an interesting little physical oddity there. Oof. Epic. There! That's all I wanted to do. Alright, now. Might as well get her out of the way. Then gonna provoke the moth mine all the way up there. And it will explode right at that timed switch, allowing me to get that heart ruby as quickly as possible. I guess the kobold teleported away from where the chandelier was going to drop, because otherwise it wouldn't be alive. So that's a simple moonstone right there. Focus on this. What's going on? There. A Japanese Twitter user came up with a quick way to get to that moonstone, but I don't know how to do it. I think it relies on some kind of bomb boosting method. Ugh. Got really ambitious there. Also, I tried to do the bomb throwing strat that I did at the Zero Trial, but as you can see, I totally butchered it. Well, I really had it at first, but I just kind of lost it somewhere along the road. Get this guy out of the way. And then with 3 double crossbow shots, it's easy enough to take out this kobold that drops a moonstone. Otherwise, the kobold just darts around all over the place. And it's a hassle to take out. Oh. I guess that's not a good strat. Anyway, that covers it for this tower. Technically, if you don't get the doggy biscuits from Birdie, you could use the kobolds here as a contingency, but I'd rather not have to deal with that. But, like, even if I hadn't restarted the series at that point... Again, RE Central reset my settings, so... the recording would have been bad regardless. So I'm gonna take this way out of here. Wait, no I'm not. However, I can't go back, so I'm gonna have to do a slow thing. I'm so forgetful. I'm like doing something from like a rehearsal ages ago before I changed the route for the better. Anyway, my intention, excuse me, was to stop by the dungeons again. This time I'm going to visit the A block. I only have one A key card, so gonna do a lift off to bypass this stuff. I think 2-5 is the door I want. Yes. Destroy this box and you'll find Ruby. Second out of 3 times you meet her. That's for a moonstone. Later on she'll give you a heart ruby. Now that I'm done here, I'm going to take the correct way out. And also the faster way out. I could have just left off the... or jumped off the food container. Leaping, jumping, I don't know if it really matters. Looking through my notes, back door out, first wall. I'm going to start by entering the lower right dorm room. That leads to this moonstone here. Or contains the moonstone. Then I'm going to visit the upper left room. Talk to these ladies who are having bug problems. So they request the Moonlight perfume. And she'll give you one, or you can take either of the figurines, or like get the other if the one you took wasn't right. And that's part of the... Pause for an energy gem there. Okay, so let me take a moment to explain. Because I'll have to find my bearings either way. See, in here you can take either the stuffed camel or the stuffed pony. Technically the client for the next part of the training quest asks for a stuffed pony, but that's kind of to throw you off because if you try to give her the stuffed pony, she'll say that's not what she wants. But if you give her the stuffed camel, that allows the trading quest to continue. Anyway, back to finding my bearings. Stuffed camel, EG-18. Talk to Harriet. Now this quest proceeds if you save and reload. It's a side quest for a moonstone. That's Harriet's mom. She's looking for Harriet. Oh wait. I'm supposed to say actually. And that allows the quest to proceed further. Now save and reload again. And now Harriet is back to give a moonstone. I think that's it for this area. Oh, no, wait. No, there's one more thing. Well, technically 2 more things. First, this lady is the one who's requesting the Doki herbs and the stink root for a heart ruby. And there's also a cat to pet in here. That takes care of the business in this area. So now that I have the stuffed camel, it's time to head back to the Atai region. Had to hydrate for a moment there. And I'm gonna start by visiting Rhodus Checkpoint. First order of business is to visit this room and find the most subtle cat in the game, right here. Talk to this guard 4 times, and she'll give a moonstone. And from here I will hover left, all the way left, to find this guy, who rewards another moonstone. Unfortunately, he won't let you pass, even though... even if you can fly, I still need to see your documents, is the thing. So now I'm gonna buy the refurbished crank lamp. Haggle for minimum price, which is 60 rin. Then give the stuffed camel so I can receive the letter of recommendation. To explain the refurbished crank lamp, like, if you say no to the final offer, then he'll just offer it full price, which is 80 rin, formerly 110. Anyway, this is in preparation for? No, it's part of the ending arsenal medal. It's part of the ending arsenal medal. Even though it doesn't seem like a weapon, it does deal damage, hence the qualification. Gotta find my bearings again after that. Next up, taking the west entrance to Atai City. Don't use the B button to enter areas. That's not how it works. Gonna hit up the shooting gallery. Do the intermediate course for the heart ruby first. I don't have the spear bomb yet, so I'm using the double crossbow. I quite like this music. This is pretty simple stuff. Perfect. Even though it's a shooting range, you can use mid-air attacks to hit the targets. Kind of funny how that works. Now I'm doing the advanced course for the Moonstone. It's just as simple, but the targets are smaller. Oops. Should be fine, right? Yeah. contingent, but fine. Ooh. There goes my perfect run. No big deal. As long as I get the score requirement, which is easy. Well, relatively speaking. I mean, especially with the double crossbow. I've done it before with the simple crossbow in my casual playthrough. So it's still pretty simple stuff despite being called advanced. Had I a perfect game, I would have had 35,000. But it doesn't really matter. So more importantly, just visited the shooting gallery on my way to here. Because a Heart Ruby side quest in the game requires red hair dye. So unfortunately I have to stop playing as Brunette Gale. Too bad, because that's the best form of Gale. I'm gonna go through this tunnel. That's it, right? Again, find my bearings. Yeah. This is the right place. That's not the right way, though. I want to go down here for some rubble blocking a moonstone in here. The area is infested with ghouls. Which thankfully the explosive Cobalt Blaster makes short work of. And the moonstone was all the way in the chain crate on the far upper right. Now to take this train over to the Ouroboros Hideout to scoop up all that remains in there. That's what I bullied Snake and unlocked the metro door for. So that it makes for an easy backtrack over here. First order of business. Visiting this area for a lunar artifact. Excuse me. Boss area of sorts. This place is full of constantly respawning drakes, but if you destroy enough, it opens the barricade there. Hang on. I held up for too long. That pot there contains a lunar drake. I don't need that treasure because I'm freaking stacked thanks to the birdie farm. Now I'll scoop up the 5th Uro guard key while I'm here. Then enter this room to do Balo's next box challenge. Anything goes, so I'm actually going to use the Cobalt Blaster here. I mean, you can visit this area at any time. So I'm going to use the Cobalt Blaster. Turn around. That might have just cost me. Maybe not? Okay, I could afford one miss. That's it. So that was for a Heart Ruby, unlike the last challenge. Next up, I'm gonna revisit the tavern where I first met Melody. And the reason why I didn't get this moonstone is because it's the only diving one that absolutely requires the lifesaver. Then after that, again, gotta find my bearings. Good thing I did, because I still have business to take care of around here. Gonna visit where Atri was hiding. Or where Birdie was hiding, to find that Atri has taken over. Present the 2 Ouroboros scrolls I found for the spear bomb technique. Unlike in the Flash game, the javelin is required, or the sonic spear is required, to obtain the spear bomb technique. So that covers it for this area. Back through this area to use another Urogard key to get here, a room containing a moonstone. The intended way to do this room is to feed the explosive crates to this dragon snare, and that'll open the way. I'm gonna be cautious here, because if you crawl too far then you'll fall. We do the 5-way, the safer way of breaking it down than pretending like I have enough distance to use the explosive round. I think I've had a few of those dilemmas before where I did the wrong thing. You know, for a second I thought my notes looked weird, but now I'm convinced otherwise. That was kind of inelegant. Hang on. That didn't work. So I did have to fire 3 rounds after all. And also got damaged by the explosive thing doodle. Now the last Urogard key purpose is this room, which contains another lunar artifact. You want to destroy the heads along the way because once you trigger the tripwire in this area, every arrow shooter in the room shoots arrows, and those heads are among the arrow shooters, so might as well get rid of them ASAP. Ah, darn. Didn't expect that dried cactus, or rather, didn't quite see it. Fall, good. I don't think I needed to play it that safe. Ah! I did need to play it safer there, though. Heck. Interesting how you can transition from ladder to ladder just by pressing left or right. Anyways, that's that. I'm gonna deter these stealers because they're annoying. Excuse me. Now I had to farm a drake tail from these guys as part of the one last thing I have to cook. No, it is the one last thing I have to cook for the Heart Ruby side quest they keep bringing up, the one with the fruits. That could have been bad. I definitely do not want to lose my hair dye here. Otherwise it's a waste of 20 Rin. And time, for that matter. I think I'm going to end this part here, because it's where I would normally. Progress report. 26 Heart Rubies, 18 Energy Gems, 75 Moonstones. Make sure the counts check out. 18 on top of the fort. I think that's the last one in this segment. I will get to this very shortly. Six beds, 4 journals, 8 cats. That's about all to report. Until the next part.